Hello everybody and welcome back to Studying Smarter. My name is Emily, and if you're new to this channel, you probably didn't realize that it was run by two people. I am currently home in quarantine. So like a lot of college students right now with the coronavirus, especially in the US, I have been sent home. I am not allowed to live on campus right now. So this was going to be my spring break, and now I'm spending it at home, social distancing myself. I'm not sick, I don't have any symptoms of coronavirus, but I also know that there are a lot of people who are a lot less lucky than I am, who are immunocompromised, and even if I'm not showing symptoms, there's a possibility that I could carry it to other people, so I'm really trying to keep as much distance between myself and other people as possible, just to minimize the risk of spreading the disease. So I'm by myself, I'm hanging out. I thought, what a better way to spend my time while being quarantined by myself than to do a readathon. I've always wanted to do a readathon. So Jalen and I have talked about this before. We tried it one time. It was hilarious because we thought that we could sit in the same room together and just like not talk to each other and just read, and that didn't work. But now that I'm alone, I think I'm gonna see Jalen for maybe like a second tomorrow. But now that I'm mostly alone, and technically it's my spring break, so I don't have as much work to be doing, I thought, hey, let me mess up my sleep schedule for an entire, it's gonna be like a 2-day recovery for me. Let's do that. That sounds like fun. I was gonna start this at midnight. It is currently 8:53, but I figured, why wait? I have energy now. Why would I wait? So I'm gonna start at 9, so I'm going to be reading from 9 o'clock tonight to 9 o'clock tomorrow. I don't really drink caffeine, so I'm not sure how the whole staying up all night situation's gonna work. I'm probably gonna be sleeping for 6 hours of this 24-hour readathon. Forgive me. My goal for this quarantine coronavirus readathon is to reread the Infernal Devices series. This is Jalen's, I think, her favorite series. I know it's definitely one of the tops. I have read these before. I read them, I think my junior or senior year of high school at Jalen's request. She actually gave me Clockwork Angel, which is the first book in the series. She gave me this copy, which was super cute. And she filled it with sticky notes and actual notes on her favorite parts, which makes this a really special copy for me because I get to go through and, it's basically like having a conversation with her about the book. I don't remember much about this book, to be honest, because I read it, 4 or 5 years ago. I remember the main characters' names, and honestly, that's about it. I'm gonna be attempting in 24 hours to read all of these. And they're thick books, I forgot. So this book is 478. Oh goodness, this is gonna be fun. The second one is 502. These two together are already 900 and something pages. That's fun. And then the last one, the monster, Clockwork Princess, is 570. So I will be reading, my math is bad, but probably a little bit less than 1,500 pages. Plus me without enough sleep, I'm going to get delirious, but it's gonna be great, guys. We're doing it. We are staying safe from the coronavirus. Let the first readathon commence. This isn't coffee, by the way. This is just hot chocolate. It's not gonna give me more than a sugar rush. Disappointing. Just a quick update. It is now 10 o'clock and I am on page 86 of Clockwork Angel and I'm really liking it so far. I think my goal for tonight is to read for another 2 hours, so until midnight. And hopefully in that time I can get at least halfway, hopefully over halfway in this book. Which means that tomorrow I'm gonna have to read both of these. which seems like it's gonna be tough. We'll see how that goes. Maybe I'll at least get through 2 in 24 hours. I really want to get through all 3 though. So maybe if I'm making good progress on this tonight, I'll stay up a little bit later to read more. It would be great if I could finish this tonight, but it is also like 500 pages. We'll see, but I'm really liking it so far. And I've loved Jalen's notes. Jalen, I've loved your notes in this book. They're so fun to see, especially because I know you did them our junior year of high school. It's just like a look back in time, which is so sweet. But yeah, I'm going to keep on reading this. You know things are really dire when I've moved to read in my bed. I've been reading for 3 hours. I really started to slow down after the first hour. I was so tired. So I've only gotten to page like 160, I think. 158 of Clockwork Angel. I'm loving it. It's amazing. I'm very tired though, so I'm gonna sleep for a few hours and I will see you guys in the morning. Good night. Good morning. It is now like 7 o'clock. I had set my alarm for like 5:30 originally. That didn't happen, but it's spring break and I'm on quarantine, so like live a little. I'm gonna do some reading in bed and then I have to get up and have breakfast and all of that fun stuff. Definitely make myself some tea because I have like 14 hours of reading that I'm still gonna be doing today. We'll see how it goes. I think it was really ambitious of me to want to read all 3 of them in 24 hours. Maybe if I stayed up all night, but I didn't do that. So, okay, we're gonna try it now. It's 10 o'clock now. I've showered, thank God, thank God. Really needed to do that. And I'm having breakfast. I have my first cup of tea of the day, which is really important to me. And I am on page 328 of Clockwork Angel. So I'm hoping that in the next kind of hour or so, maybe a little bit more, hour and a half, I'll be able to finish this and get started on the next one, which is I think Clockwork Prince? I know Clockwork Princess is the last one, but I'll be able to get started on the second book in this series. So I'm gonna eat while I read, and hopefully I'll get through a lot of it. Oh look, one of Jalen's notes. It's a long one too. Gosh, this is a heartbreaking part too. This is not a promising thing to turn a page to, especially at the end of this book. Oh no. Another one on the page after. Thank you, Jalen, for telling me not to hate him when I haven't even read what happens, but now I'm prepared. Oh no. I'm apparently reading really slowly, but it is almost noon and I just finished Clockwork Angel. I think I would give this book just a solid 4 out of 5 stars probably. I liked it, but it also had that kind of slow feeling of this is going to be a trilogy, this is going to be a series setup, where the conclusion was not, you know, as satisfying as I wanted it to be, but I still really liked it and I still really liked all of the characters. I'm in love with Will Herondale, oh my gosh, but I'm also in love with Jem. I feel like when I read this before, obviously I was a lot younger. I was like a junior in high school, and so I loved Will so much more than I loved Jem, but now that I'm like older, I'm like, oh, but Jem is so kind and so nice. And I love him, and I love Tessa too. An amazing book. Like it was really good. I'm gonna be adding it to my Goodreads, but I finished one book so far. It's taken me forever. It's taken me, what, almost 12? Well, I slept for a lot of it, but it took me a little bit of time. That means now I'm starting on Clockwork Prince, which is the second book in the series. I think my new goal is, like, my minimum, I want to finish this book today. I guess we'll just see, because Clockwork Princess is even longer. Probably won't get through this today, which sucks, but I'm going to at least try to get through this one. I'm really excited. I don't have any more notes from Jalen, which is sad. Those were really funny, especially towards the end, because it was all commenting on like Will and Tessa's relationship and what was going on with there. Jalen would just be like, don't hate Will, and I was like, I kind of do, but it was really good. And now I'm gonna get started on this one. Hello there. Hi. Oh, hello there. Hi, good girl. How's quarantine treating you, huh? Yeah. Another quick update. It is almost 3 o'clock and I am only on page 123 of Clockwork Prince. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like it as much as the first book. I mean, I'm only 123 pages into it, so I can't make, you know, a very strong judgment on it yet, and I don't want to, but it doesn't feel the same. That doesn't make any sense. But like, the plot in the beginning feels very contrived. Like there had to be something to start it, and you get a sense that it's very much going to be plot driven rather than character driven, which I prefer, like a character driven plot. Not that there's anything wrong with just like a plotted thing where characters are there. I mean, you do have some character driven things like Will, but oh my gosh, can you stop? So there are some character-driven things, like obviously Will's side plot in this, discovering that he was cursed by a demon, that came out of nowhere. Cool. It's fun, I guess. And I also just like, one thing I really appreciated about the first book is that it wasn't a romance book. You got hints that there was gonna be romance, especially with Will, and I already knew that there was a really strong love triangle, but I felt like there's just so much of that in this book, and what I really wanted was like the politics and the action with like a little bit of romance on the side, but now it feels like the romance is kind of taking over the story, which is frustrating. I'm still really liking it. I really like Cassandra Clare's writing style. It's very clear, but also very evocative, and like I feel like I can see it in front of me, and these characters seem really real to me, which I think is cool. But at the same time, I'm like, I want more of like the politics of it. Like when they were talking about spoils, like tell me more about how horrible that system was, because they're always just like, oh, that was before the Accords. It was like, well, the Accords were put in place like 10 years ago or something. This is recent stuff. This isn't just an old man in York who like has this. Like this was 10 years ago. I want to learn more about that, but I'm still enjoying it. For some reason, I keep getting slower as I'm reading. I've also been hit with some news from campus. Because of the coronavirus, they are sending more people home. I was anticipating hopefully going back in a week because of academic things. I'm finishing my thesis, so I need to be on campus for on-campus resources, but now it looks like I will possibly be staying here, and it's just stressed me out because I don't know how I'm gonna finish my thesis. But I really, you know, there's nothing that can be done about it now. As all students who are currently sent home in quarantine know, we literally have no power over this situation. So I'm trying to roll with the punches, and I want to just keep reading and try not to worry too much about what's going on, because that won't be helpful for me. It'll just make me shut down, and that's not where we're at right now. Right now, we just want to read Clockwork Prince for another 6 hours. Maybe in 6 hours I can finish this book. I definitely don't think I'll be getting to Clockwork Princess today. Reading almost 1,000 pages in 24 hours would be, while sleeping too, mind you, I slept, I think would be a good accomplishment. That is my update for right now. A little sad, a little nervous, but it's okay. Wow, this update just turned way sadder than I thought it would, but we're doing great. Okay, starting to read again, ignoring the coronavirus and falling into the Shadowhunter world. Chapter 6, The Silent Sealed. And spoilers, but Cecily, I think we're about to finally learn who she is, which is exciting. Oh, I totally forgot about this, that Cecily is Will's sister. No spoilers, guys. Okay, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like this book is getting a little repetitive in terms of like the language. So she described light in the very beginning of the book, like coming into a church, I think Westminster, as watery light. And I was like, that's such a cool thing, because, you know, it's like the stained glass windows, which are like watery. But then she used it again on page like 118 or something. And then she described somebody as Snow White, either in the beginning of this book or the end of the last book, and then she's describing somebody else as Snow White again. And I don't know if this is just me reading too much into it because I'm reading it like all at once, but I don't know, I'm starting to see patterns in like the metaphors she uses. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry I keep interrupting, but like, when was this published? 2011? It's so 2011. I noticed it in the first book too, but all I have to say is Tessa exhaled. She hadn't realized she'd been holding her breath until that moment. Oh God. Okay, so I am on page 204 of Clockwork Prince, and I just got to a specific scene with Jem and Tessa. And okay, I'm not gonna lie, controversial opinion, I love Jem, right? We know I love Jem. I really do. I love Will and I love Jem. But I feel like it just like, this scene in particular, it just got a lot really quickly. I don't know, I feel like it wasn't set up very well. I mean, we're on page 204 and her and Jem, like there wasn't anything really romantic in the other book, was there? Did I miss any like romantic subtext between them in the other one? Because I mean, I got it in the first half of this book, but it's been 200 pages to set up, but her and Will has been set up for like an entire book already, so I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling about that at this point. And again, it's just like, I love it, but there's so much romance and just like not enough of the other stuff right now. It's just, it feels off balance compared to the other book. Like the other book, it felt like romance was not the main thing, but this one feels like romance is the main thing, which is fine, but like I'm also kind of annoyed about it. But it is like 4:30 right now, so it's been a little while and I'm still only on page 204, so I'm gonna keep reading. I like it, but I don't like it as much as the first book, I think, but I also still have like 300 pages to go, so we'll see. Hi, lazy girl, you just sleeping through quarantine, huh? Hey guys, so quick update. If I look a little worse for wear, I am. I haven't done any reading since I last did an update. Haven't done any reading, and for a good reason. I got an email from my university that I will be moving off campus indefinitely because of the coronavirus. I was originally approved to stay on campus because of my thesis work, which I think I mentioned in an update a couple hours ago, but now I'm officially having to move off campus, which is really tough, and it was just really unexpected. So I've been distracted and trying to figure out how that's gonna work in terms of thesis, graduation, back, how all of that's gonna work. I have an on-campus job, I'm gonna have to work remotely as well. So I've just been trying to figure that stuff out, and that's stuff that I haven't been able to like put to the side. But hey, those are the realities of quarantine and COVID-19. But that's basically why I haven't read anything in the past couple hours. I'm still on page 216 of Clockwork Prince. I'm gonna keep reading this tonight. I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish it. I'm a little bit less than halfway through with it. Hopefully I'll finish it. I may extend this past 24 hours because technically I wasn't awake for all 24 hours. So I may extend this a little bit and hopefully finish it tonight. Definitely at this point not getting to Clockwork Princess, but I am still gonna read that book. I'm gonna jump back into this for a little bit before I have to have dinner tonight, and then finish it probably after dinner. May stay up until like midnight or 1, or hopefully finish it. Like hopefully I can stay up and finish it tonight, because then I'll have like 1,000 pages, and that's pretty cool. I am so mad. I have 50 pages left of this book, almost exactly 50, and I just like, I don't want to finish, like I don't want to keep reading it, because I know what's about to happen. So, spoilers. Tessa just got engaged to Jem, and then Will discovers that he actually didn't have a curse on him, and so he wants to go tell Tessa he loves her, right? But everything's happening so quickly, there's so many misunderstandings, and I just know that Will's about to have his heart broken. But also, I'm mad because it feels fake. It feels fake. It doesn't feel natural. I don't know what Cassandra Clare did at the end of this book, but it wasn't good. All of this feels fake. Like very, very fake, like misunderstandings. And Tessa being an idiot. She is an idiot sometimes. Like, love her, but she's an idiot. And I just like, I have 50 pages. I need to finish it. I feel like Clockwork Princess will be good, maybe, hopefully. I don't know. I'm mad. I'm so mad about this right now. Like, this entire book has just felt stiff to me. Like, it's felt like it doesn't really need to be here, but it just feels very contrived, very plotted, and I'm just mad about it, and I really don't like it that much. I'm gonna finish this. I'm over my time. It's past 9 o'clock. So, I'm past 24 hours, but I was like, I have 50 pages left, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and finish the 50 pages. I just finished reading Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare, and I have a lot of thoughts. My first thought is that I'm mad. So many things I was just reminded of. This takes place over 2 weeks. 2 weeks, okay? 2 weeks. From the very first page to the very last page. And you're trying to tell me that Jem just suddenly developed feelings for Tessa in 2 weeks, and that she decided to marry him in 2 weeks. Also, she's 16 and he's 17. Like, how are they even gonna get married? They're not even legal. And I know this is like Victorian London, but she's 16. And this love triangle seems so forced. Why couldn't she just love him like a brother? I didn't see it in the first book. I didn't see him falling in love with her. Like, I did not see that happening. Maybe I completely missed that romantic subtext, and maybe I was just clueless because I was too focused on other things, but I didn't see it. And now that's all this book was, and that's why Jem's on the freaking cover, and I'm mad about it. No matter what she does in the third one. And I honestly, like, I don't remember what happens in the third one. I don't know how she's gonna come back from this. She set herself up in such an impossible situation that no matter what she does, it will not be satisfying. I hope I proved myself wrong, but I'm mad. I would give this book a 2 out of 5 stars. That was my 24-hour readathon. I ended up reading Clockwork Angel and Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare while I have been on quarantine. If you enjoyed this readathon and want to see me get more delirious and more tired, like and subscribe, and I'll just give the people what they want.